Every time it never fails. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Leaves in a Pod. I am Lisa. Kendra is not here. Tori is here with me. Gabe is here, but he's silent right now. And we have Bruce Matkin.
Hey,
Hi. Hey.
Everyone.
I was busy. I was too busy working on something last evening.
Yeah, you were. You sure were. And everybody's going to find out about it right here any second now. Okay, so I'm just going to let everybody know right off the bat, this will not be a marathon tonight. Okay? Just letting y'all know.
Yeah, I gotta get my alarm set.
Yeah, we were on for like 10 hours.
No call from Silverman yet.
So we were on for so long last night, and I'm so exhausted. I don't know if you can hear. I'm losing my voice as we speak. So just wanted to let you all know. Don't worry. Quick night. So hello everyone. Hello. I see DRD Storage Brats. What's up? Got your email again. I'm going through them. Some people might have received answers regarding them, and some I still have left. So, Shot Lover, hello. A lot of you guys hung out with us all night. Terry, James Krabs, hello. Harper, Dash. A lot of you guys left and went to sleep, woke up, and we're still here. Laureen Meyer, hello.
Yeah, trying to get that deposition of Hales that was done by Silverman. Trying to get it.
Sleepy Baby Kittens, Brenda, Ray, hello. Ray Bonecrusher, hello. Bud Light, Jennifer W, Renee, Tamara, hello. Debbie, Ed, what's up? Kim just back again. Yeah, this is how tired I am, guys. I was talking to Kim not too long ago, and I'm just sitting there chilling, I'm relaxing, and I was out. She's like, Lisa, Lisa, are you sleeping? I'm like, no. Gone. I was out. Demon Cat, hello. Rachel, Stacy. I have questions. YouTube thinks I watched 10 hours. Pam, hello. Jeremy said he's going to play it on his channel in the future. Play what?
His own deposition that Silverman took.
Oh, okay. Well,
but I want to get that. I mean, our mutual client, that's her, that's part of her file, and I need it. And, again, it's just a big problem.
Expiration date. Pam Ulrich, hey. Pebs, hey.
Hello, everyone.
Tori's like, hello. Hey, Judith. What is happening, everybody? So, okay. So we do have some news this evening. But I did want to mention, some people messaged me and they just wanted to go over a few little things here. So, question. If anybody remembers, and I know we've talked about this before, but there's a video that someone showed me in regards to a sweatshirt that was donated. But it was sold on what the video actually says is that the sweatshirt was sold on eBay for $14,000. Did you know that you could talk for hours? Yes, he did. He's muted right now. I don't know. He's listening. He's listening for sure. So this is not the sweatshirt with the T spilled on it, right? That one was the hoodie, correct? The hoodie had T spilled on it and it sold for more than 14 grand. Right? So there's another video. Okay, the sweatshirt was sold on YouTube, but there's another hoodie that had tea spilled on it that was done at Mill of the Grill. So, okay, there were two. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
But I don't even know that whole tea story.
Yeah, somebody threw tea at him at Mill of the Grill, and I think he tried to sue him or something or have him arrested. I think he actually did get arrested. I don't know that whole story.
Is that where the Spilling the Sweet Tea Facebook group comes from? Inspired by?
Yeah, I know, right, King Paco? Me either. But yeah. And so I'm like, okay, but they sold this sweatshirt, but it had something to do with Harley or something. So I'm kind of like, okay, what? I'm trying to find out. Well, if this was done for Harley, why didn't she receive? Oh, there he is. Well,
somebody said, Gabe, how did you know that your wife Lisa could talk for 12 hours? I'm thinking to myself, why do you think I go to sleep early?
Why didn't you say that then? Because he doesn't know how to use it. I was thinking
to myself, that's why I go to sleep early. Dude.
You're such a liar.
No, I'm kidding.
This could be fun. Storage Legends, Guapo's in the house. What's up, Guapo? Awesome. Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out where this money went, if it was supposed to be for her, because there's constant line. Something somebody else pointed out is that there's no more Olight links on his recent video. Did anybody notice that? Yeah.
Oops.
And I do know that people were really upset with Guapo, and not upset with him, upset with the whole incident at the storage auction facility, because he was throwing the Olight up and down, catching it in his hand as if he was using it as a weapon. You know what I mean? And I know people were upset about that, so they said they were going to call, and he doesn't have any more Olight links in there. But it may not mean anything. It may not mean.
Well, I know that I got emails. I got emails from several people saying they reported him to Olight and told Olight they were going to trash all their Olights and never buy another one if they continued to support him.
Really?
It was the victim's advocate's son. It was Michelle's victim's advocate's son that spilled the tea.
Her
that was I remember hearing about this. Yeah, Rhett, I think.
Okay.
Right?
Yes. But that's her victim advocate's son.
Yeah, that was like a big thing, and it had to. That victim's advocate had to get switched. I mean, there are people in the chat who will know exactly about it, but
it popped off. Tully's the tea hoodie was auctioned. Oh, I just lost it. It scrolled up too fast. Was auctioned at a fundraiser for the aunt's legal fees. Okay, so is that what Rick got it up to that 30,000 then?
He started. He went out. Look, as you would imagine, as soon as this victim's advocate the name came out, he started attacking her, and then I guess they accidentally bumped into each other physically, just walking out of court, through the doorway or something. That's it.
Right. Okay. So
right. I mean, again, though, I'm thinking there are people watching who will definitely have better details than I have.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, just because it did an email, and I'm trying to figure out which was which. Now, I see that it is the sweatshirt that's sold on eBay for 14 grand, but in regards to the hoodie that had the spilled tea, that people were saying, and it was a little confusing.
Okay, I'm being corrected by no knee, so and that's fine because I need to be. So let's hear it, or type it.
So what is the story? The tea incident happened at barbecue.
Now somebody says DRD says at a restaurant, but yeah, no, at Bubbock's.
It was not
BHUS. Is that a place?
It's barbecue. It's a restaurant.
Barbecue.
Yeah, and it was not an accident. And the sweatshirt made it 50. Oh, so it was already 30K, and it made it 50K. So these aunts received 50K. What about the fact that it was reported? And sorry, I was just reading what Guapo said. It was reported, and the GoFundMe was taken down. But they took money out. They had already taken something out. So, people didn't get their money back, or what? We don't know. I guess we'll have to find out. But there's a question that we have, because that was $30,000, and if it went up to 50, how much was refunded, how much did they get, because they only had one attorney do one thing here, and it was just a look into to see what they can even get in to look at the file, and that's it. And that doesn't cost no $30,000. You know, so whatever's going on with that. And the reason why I say that is because Jeremy had mentioned how the other night he had mentioned, I guess it was last night, he had mentioned how being that Michelle had dropped the TPO case against him, he was questioning like all the money that was donated to her, and because she wasn't following through with the suit, that all that money that was a con, and that was this and that was that. And I made the point to say, hello, she's still in lawsuit, she still has attorneys. Okay, so I was trying to figure out all this money that was raised at because he made a big stink about these ants, and he got everybody to donate, and he was working so hard on that. To us, that I see that as the big con. Not for someone who's still in a lawsuit, still having to take care of attorneys in whatever way is happening, but it's still there, it's still happening, it's still going on. And to me, that whole thing is like actually fraudulent. So how much money did they end up receiving, and how much was that lawyer fee? Because that lawyer didn't do anything but file one thing to see if they can even look into the case. So I just wanted to bring that up, and I'm trying to figure out where that money came from and how it was raised. And people are saying that it was in part due to that sweatshirt that spilled tea.
That lawyer's got some splaining. You talk about the adoption removal emergency. Yeah, that lawyer's got some splaining to do.
Yeah, so it is not an emergency order or anything like that. So it's all a bunch of crap, to be quite honest with you. But so then the other thing, I just find it funny. People are saying stuff and they're lying, like they came on here saying a bunch of stuff. They go into the Facebook groups and they make up a whole bunch of lies. Like they don't even pay attention to what they're talking about, really. And why won't it let me share the screen? Hold on. Let me pull it up here. Where is it? Let's see. It doesn't even matter. Let me just see. I'll read it instead. It won't let me pull it up. We got a lot of people just like shit talking, and that's fine. They're gonna do it. That's not it. But they're going in these Facebook groups and they're making up all these lies. Like they were talking about the channel last night, Oh no, this is them shutting us down and reporting us the other night. Somebody named Star, Kayla, and another guy named John Carnley. They like to
probably got a lot of new viewers to Thule's who heard about that.
Yeah. Thank you.
So thank you.
Zicket said the tea hoodie money he said he gave to the adoption lawyers of the ladies wanting to challenge the adoption.
Right.
Well, he's an idiot.
Mm-hmm. Now there's also, all right, so there was somebody in here. Do you guys remember the name Matilda in here?
Uh-huh. So
that person, Matilda, was on one of the Facebook groups. Her name is Matilda Fiesel or something.
Uh-huh.
And she's I had to laugh the other night. They started collecting money to give HG the Christmas of a lifetime. They heard HG was not invited to Christmas in the Creek last year. They want to make the Turd Purgatory in Otter Creek a show place this holiday season. They mentioned decorating the outside of her barndominium home, what home, the child's bedroom, what bedroom, and the fence, what fence, with decorations and lights. Oh my. And then somebody else said, will the fence decorations be dirty diapers and empty vodka bottles? So this is what they're talking about something. So they're trying to take something that's a very good thing about a child, and they're trying to discredit it and make it such a bad thing and make it dirty. And it just, to me, it makes me sick. And then you have this one chick who loves to post on that Facebook group. Her name is Melissa Pelosi Lemmerman. She starts showing pictures of vodka bottles with lights in them and says, now just string them up to the fence. you know, and they're like, wow, I can't wait to see it. I'm not holding my breath. I'm wondering who's coming to decorate. They will be shocked to see the place as nothing is described. I don't know why they would think we don't have any idea what it looks like. So they're also talking about the thumbnail cases. Happy to have helped get that out of him. Now he's just got to say it to Jeremy. This is talking about Slug. So there's a bunch of crap here. There's something else. There was the beginning of this Matilda person. Here it is.
People are saying that they think that that's George.
Oh well, it could be.
Multiple people have said that.
Oh,
they said it.
Well,
that
this
night
is.
Again.
I found this funny. So this was today because they were talking about the 10-hour live. So this Tanya Turner chick says, I just looked and they really have no life at all. To go on a live for 10 plus hours to whine about one man, that's just crazy and obsessive. I couldn't watch but just a couple minutes. Such negativity and hate being spewed. And then there's a couple of comments there. But this Matilda person, again, this is what I find funny about this one. JH mentioned recently that LP contacted the forensic handwriting expert he hired. Just for giggles, I asked if that was true. BM, Bruce, said absolutely not. This should be interesting. Then her next comment is, didn't JH mention a while back that LP contacted the mayor in the town where he resides? Didn't she contact the wrong one? And then so it's like her question was about the mayor, and then she asked the same exact question when above she stated it as a fact in regards to the forensic expert. So she stated it like it was a fact, and then came back and said, didn't he? And then also with the same thing with the mayor thing. The mayor, I don't know why they're thinking that there's this phone call with the mayor. Why is everybody thinking that there's a phone call with the mayor?
Hi, Desert Dragon Works.
Hello. Donis! Oh, and by the way, every couple of minutes we have to say germ. Because they're reading the transcript. So if they read the transcript, we have to make them work, because if we keep saying germ throughout the entire time, they'll think there's a point that's being made everywhere they can copy it and paste it. So we're just going to make them work a little harder. Okay? Germ.
Diabolical.
We can say Martha. You know, like, my God, it was sunny today, Martha. You know. Or what's up, guapo? Germ. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, oh my God. Then they'll be like, oh, guapo is there. So maybe we shouldn't do that. Oops. So,
if it took in the chat, we wouldn't have a problem, because they would have to watch the entire video.
Yeah.
Because his name shows up in the chat all the time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not.
We could say George. See, what they're doing is they're going through the transcript, and then they're doing like a control F, which you can find the name. They search the name, and they'll see everywhere it pops up. So if we say it constantly throughout it, we're going to have to make them look at everything. And they'll be sitting there much longer than they think. So basically, we're trying to like make it so that the transcript isn't working for them real well.
Yeah, James Kraft, just because he said it doesn't make it true. We've proven that multiple times. Like when he showed a text and said that Guapo threatened him and challenged him. And then Guapo so kindly pulled up the actual text message, like scrolled through his phone to get the text message and showed the actual truth.
Yeah.
So we already know he lies. So just because it came out of his mouth doesn't mean squat.
Yeah, none of his text messages about anything can be believed, because we saw what he tried to do to Guapo. And he had people believing it. He really did. And Guapo showed you his phone and scrolled right through his phone, and he didn't care. He's like, you can pause and read it.
I didn't believe it.
But he scrolled through his phone and showed it to you.
I'd watched enough footage of both of them that I knew that was not in Guapo's character. Guapo is more like come at me, not I'm coming after you.
Right. Right.
In my opinion. That is my opinion. It is only my opinion. I do not see a Guapo as the aggressor, but I do not see Guapo as one to run away either.
No, he stood right there. What?
Maybe try to diffuse the situation, but not running away like tail between the legs running away. Never have. So yeah. And I missed who gave us or gave you,
Lisa
not me.
asked the question, so I answered it. Boobar!
Okay.
Germ.
Strictly gifted 10 memberships. Wow.
Can you please slow the chat? Oh, wow. Okay. It's already at 30.
Robin.
I'll slow it down some more.
Max.
Oh, absolutely. Guapo is definitely the bigger man.
George Washington's wife's name?
Martha.
Therese, not lunatic. I love that. Great name.
Don't start none, won't be none. Yeah. Yeah. No, Guapo. Man, that he was way stronger than I would have been. Honestly.
Oh no, he would have hit me. There's no two ways about it. Yeah. If I were in Guapo's shoes that day, Jeremy would have hit me. Yeah. Absolutely, he would have hit me.
Come chest bump me. I was like,
no, the first time he came at Guapo's like got out of my face and he backed up, like, get away from me. Trying to diffuse the situation. Me, I wouldn't have. I would have said, "Come at me, bitch!"
Right,
I would have been right there because that's my personality.
Yeah.
Do we have any viewers in chat from Germany?
George. They might be looking for Travis.
George Lowe, and I'm not saying that he did anything wrong. I read people, and what I read Guapo's reaction to that was he was absolutely trying to diffuse the situation and continue on with the auction and not totally disrespect Rob, who was running the auction.
Right.
And just get away from me, leave me alone. You do your thing, I'll do mine. And that's the way I read it. Personality wise, I'm not that calm about it because I'd be like, really? You want to come at me? Come on, let's go.
Right.
Do you really think that's
people bigger than him?
Do you really think that this is germane to the discussion?
It was just part of the discussion that happened in the chat.
All right, customization, guys. I have it on. It's already set for 30 seconds. I'll put it for 45 because everybody said 60 was too long.
Yeah, it's still flying.
All right, so yeah. All right, so
I'm actually. What Lady Gaga's real name is? Stephanie Germanata.
Doreen, I have no clue who she works for or doesn't work for. I have no clue who works for the Germ and doesn't.
Travis. So let's see. Closed captioning. Where are the settings for that? I think that's actually on your.
Yes. Closed captioning is on your own.
Yeah, we found that out this morning.
Storage Brett, someone called us 2 liars in a douche canoe.
What? Say that again. What?
Storage Brat said 2 liars in a douche canoe. That's a new one to me.
A douche canoe? Really? You know what? What was that on like Gradis's freaking thing?
You know what? A twat waffle would come up with that one. Just saying.
You should see what this guy Shizzy Wisnick called him in an email responding to one from me.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know who that freak is.
Yeah, the channel who's riding the gravy train, and actually he's been kind of doing it under the radar compared to the other ones. But as I look, he's got a whole playlist going pretty far back.
Yeah, freaking crazy. Whatever, look, we're the only ones that are really between us, Psychobabble, Ray, Bone Crusher, and Milltown's Best. We're the other one, and Guapo is not really part of. He doesn't really know. It's not that he doesn't know. I don't know what he knows about Michelle and the situation there, but he doesn't really discuss that at all. He has his own issue. You know what I mean? Or Jeremy has an issue with him, whatever it may, we want to call it. but in time and how he explained, he explains what's going on in his issue as well. So then you have a storage auction pirate who has spoken about his situation briefly. And so there's other channels that have come out and shown, even his own son, Jason. So there's other channels that are showing the sides of Germ of who he really is. And I just think it's sad that it's taken this long. But I guess, since he didn't show that side at first, I saw an earlier video where this was today, where he's talking about it's an HJH video, so it was before What the Hells, and in it he is talking about he bought a storage unit, and this guy, it's the one that had the motorcycle in it, and this guy wanted the storage unit back, and he was trying to explain to him what happened to him and why he didn't pay it. And it had everything to do with him. He was in jail for not paying child support. And then you see on the screen, he put text in there, like kind of like being sarcastic about not paying child support. And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? That's exactly what you did. So at the end of this video, he tries talking to everybody and telling them how honest he is and how true he is and how real he is. And I'm like, wow, this is like, he was lying and creating this imagery from the get-go, and it's just really sad. But you know what? He wanted to do the drama. He did the drama. He started with Marilyn Raby. As far as I see, it was started with Marilyn Raby. And ever since then, it's just been really bad. But people have, seen him at these storage auctions, and they've seen how he is for a long time. And it's just sad that it got this far where it's really destroying lives. And he's threatening to sue everybody. And hey, anybody can sue everybody for whatever reason they want to. It doesn't mean they're going to win. And according to, Germ law, he thinks he's going to win everything. And my opinion is like he's going to sue Guapo. Supposedly, somebody in Ohio is hiding from being served this week. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, that is one foolish move, because everybody has seen the idiot he made of himself that day at the storage unit facility. A lot of people think that he should have got a protection order against him, Guapo, that is. And you know what? To me, Guapo just doesn't seem like that guy. He doesn't want to do that. You know what I mean? And I get it.
Yeah, it's a personal choice. I would have, and I would have made sure that I was at every auction like an hour before it started, just to screw him up.
Yeah, but it's like, I'm not sure if Guapo knows or sees what's going on with Michelle and what he's done, throughout this, because he's gone after his family. He's gone after, not his family, Michelle's family, and then now I'm hearing about like some of Michelle's friends. He had people stalking like our driveway. Like, what? So it's like it just to protect himself and his family. I thought that would have been, and his future, his business, whatever. He already had somebody go there with complaining or questioning an auctioneer's license. And it's like, he's playing dirty games. But the reality is, like, how far does this Jeremy think he's going to get with that situation? Guapo can have him arrested. He assaulted him, period. He was harassing him, assaulting him, totally defamed him, slandered him.
I agree. There's no way a police taking a sworn complaint from Guapo in that video could not do something.
And it's not even Guapo's video. There's other videos that were recorded of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because obviously the chest bump wasn't on Guapo's video. You can't video that.
I don't think. Yeah. Because he was up there looking at the inside the storage, and he just came back he just backed away from looking at.
Yeah, any video that shows it clearly, whether it's his own or other, it's still the same evidence.
So it's just, and the thing is, there's so many witnesses to what's been going on, and especially in regards to Jeremy's character. I don't think he stands a chance with Guapo at all. at all. I think it's a total waste, and he should really step back. I doubt that there is something filed where he's being served and someone's looking for him. But you can go and look at court records to see if anything has been filed. You search either one of the names, and if nothing comes up, then nothing's been filed. So it doesn't appear that way as of now. Anyway. So I think he's full of shit. My personal opinion. Germ. And so then you got, what else? Well, speaking of filings, right? We talked yesterday. Jeremy right now is showing all these depositions that was taken of Michelle, and it's really, really sad what's going on and how, especially today, Bruce, right? What they did to Michelle in a deposition is absolutely horrendous.
It's being played now and then played by the others for no reason but to mock and humiliate.
Yeah, and I'm not going to show it at all. So, and for that reason only, I'm not going to further try to embarrass her or show how they tried to, ridicule her, harass her, intimidate her, you name it, it's all there. It's really sad what they did. So, in turn, Bruce is the attorney for John and Michelle on the federal case between that actually the germ filed against them. And so last week you had been granted what we call I'm going to do it again. Pro Hac Vice, right? Got it? Did I get that?
Yeah, close enough.
I kept saying it wrong. Oh, it's close enough. What do you mean, Pro Hac Vice? It's not. That's not it now. I just said it really fast too. Still on it?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, you are there. You are now the lawyer on this case and the federal case, and so you've been working hard at it. And to me, Bruce, I was telling everybody. I know you weren't here last night, but I was telling everybody that of all the people that are talking about the case and going over the motions and they're left, but they're like, when did they become lawyers? You know what I mean? There's two lawyers though that I have not seen on their like the tugs and the turtle toddler gauntlet chick site.
Yeah,
that I didn't see them in their comments or whatever, but you're the only one literally talking about the legal side of this. Like you're the only one that I hear talking like a lawyer should be talking. You know what I mean? You are here and you're explaining everything you're doing. So you filed something today, and we're gonna show what was filed, and you can explain it for us, right?
Yep.
All right, let's get this up here.
I dropped a little hint last night, just in the chat. That's what I was working on here.
Yeah, let's see. Okay, let's see it.
And while you're getting ready, so I didn't realize how convenient it would be to be able to get admitted pro hac vice. Then I wasn't sure, but I knew to think of the question enough to look up the answer as to whether I could file a second successive motion under Rule 12B, and I could for 12B6. That's the one attacking or challenging the sufficiency of the allegations on those other counts for RICO and tortious interference. And then again, I was able to, realize there's a question G, can I file a motion for summary judgment? Remember, I mentioned that would be the plan for the defamation counts. Now, I thought that perhaps we'd have to wait to do an answer to the complaint and maybe even engage in some discovery. And then I said, but maybe not. Then I looked up and I found the case law right on point that says, nope, the defendant can file a motion for summary judgment even before they file an answer to the complaint. And that's what today's filing is. And now all of the counts of the complaint are now being subject to what are called dispositive motions. So our motion to dismiss the RICO and tortious interference counts under 12b-6 is granted, that disposes of those claims. And if this motion is granted on summary judgment on the defamation counts, it disposes of those claims. And that's why they're called dispositive motion.
All right, so try to clear my throat here. All right, so this motion is for summary judgment on counts 1 and 2. So pursuant to FRCP 56A, the defendants move for summary judgment on counts 1 and 2 of the complaint on the ground that there is no genuine dispute as to any material fact, and the defendants are entitled to judgment as a matter of law. In support hereof, the defendants submit herewith their memorandum of law in support of summary judgment on counts 1 and 2. All right, so that's now I got to pull up the memorandum, right?
Yeah, and you don't really need to show the complaint again because it's, the relevant parts on counts 1 and 2 is basically in the memorandum. They're quoted and cited in the memorandum from the complaint. Okay. Yeah.
All right, let me just grab that because I closed the screen and I should have just hit share this instead. Let's see. Here we go. Do you see it on screen? Okay. There we go. All right, so this is the memorandum in support. Okay, so this I can read, right? You want me to read the whole thing? And this is long.
Yeah, it's up to you. This is a motion for summary judgment requires a statement of material facts. So that's what that first part is.
Okay. So 1, the plaintiff has no evidence that the defendant Preston wrote signs alleged in paragraph 28 of the complaint or any signs about the plaintiff. Number 2, the plaintiff has no evidence that the defendant Cook wrote the signs in alleged paragraph 28 of the complaint or any signs about the complaint.
Those being the handwritten signs saying Ohio rape is this and child rape is that.
Right. Number 3, assuming the plaintiff could somehow produce evidence creating a genuine issue of fact as to whether either of the defendants wrote any of the signs, there is no evidence the signs were placed around roads surrounding Hale's property in Levy County, Florida. And it's in quotes because that's what he claimed. That's the claim. Right. Okay. So number 4, assuming the plaintiff could somehow produce evidence creating genuine issues of fact as to whether either of the defendants wrote the signs and whether the signs were placed around the roads surrounding Hale's property in Levy County, Florida, there is no evidence anyone ever saw the sign. Number 5, defendant Preston stated on her social media that she watched Jeremy Hale's videos till recently, and Jeremy Hale only thinks about the size of his junk. And the complaint is paragraph 25.
Ooh.
How is that a threat to him or defaming him? I mean, how many of you in the chat know about the 2-inch pipe and the driveway shit? Just saying. So anyway, okay. Number 6, defendant Cook posted on Facebook, Jeremy, would you like me to post a picture of my peen in George's mouth? You can take this. You can't take this one down. Okay. I've never heard or saw that. I don't even know. Where is that, by the way?
I assume that it was, but if it wasn't, we'll get to that later. But for now, it's fine to assume that it was.
Okay. So number 7, defendant Preston posted on her social media that 1, I'm going to stand tall and not let Jeremy Ailes hurt me ever again. 2, she will put a cap in the ass of anyone who messes with her. And 3, I'm done with it. You met your match, Mr. Hales. That's complaint number 30. 8, none of the statements allegedly made by the defendants on social media are false statements of fact or defamatory to the plaintiff. Number 9, the plaintiff on September 5th began broadcasting a series of YouTube videos on his channel, What the Hells, showing a January 2024 Zoom video deposition of the defendant Preston taken in a now dismissed state court TRO action filed by Ms. Preston for the purpose of mocking and humiliating her for YouTube content and views.
And I noticed my typo in the second line of that paragraph. The word his is missing the H. I'm pretty sure that's the only one in the whole memo. I'm ashamed.
Oops. Bad. Bruce, bad. All right, so B, allegations underlying defamation claims. Counts 1 and 2 of the complaint claim that defendants Preston and Cook respectively defamed the plaintiff. The factual support for these counts stated in paragraph 28 of the complaint includes that the defendants allegedly wrote signs defaming plaintiff. After Hales left Florida to go back to Ohio in May 2023, Preston wrote many double-sided road signs and placed them around the roads surrounding Hales' property in Levy County, Florida. These signs falsely stated, Jeremy Hales R'd my daughter. Jeremy Hales has to go. What the hell? With a question mark. Jeremy Hales, Ohio R. No Ohio R in Levy County. Stop Jeremy Hales. Jeremy Hales needs to go. No child R in Levy County. Stop Jeremy Hales. No R in Levy County. The complaint also includes the following allegations. Why won't my thing scroll? Here we go. The following allegations in support of the defamation claims. Preston and Cook immediately begin publishing defamatory statements about Hales on their various social media platforms. In May 2023, for example, Preston stated on her social media that she watched Jeremy Hales' videos until recently, and Jeremy Hales only thinks about the size of his junk. Complaint paragraph 25. See, some of this stuff kind of repeats itself, but there's reasons for it. So you have to point it out, right? In each.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's more or less. You could kind of gloss through those because it just repeats what they said, although there's some additional info like the dates and stuff.
Okay. So, defendant Cook publicly stated falsely on Facebook that Hale's fiance had oral sex with him and that he has photographs to prove it. Which statement is quoted in a footnote as Jeremy would like me to post a picture of my blank in George's mouth. You can't take this one down. Okay.
Okay, now let's stop for a second. Now here's an important point. So notice there's both the quote that he's alleging Jeremy would like you.
Right, that was
Jeremy would like. But before that is the characterization, which is just their characterization. So defendant Cook publicly stated falsely on Facebook that Hale's fiance had oral sex with him and that he has photographs to prove it, is their characterization of the Facebook quote, Jeremy, would you like me to post a picture of my, so only the quoted part is evidence that, could or in our view doesn't support their claim, but the other part is just their characterization. It's worthless on a motion for summary judgment for them. For them to say, he publicly stated on Facebook that Hales blah, blah, blah. No, he said, quote, boom, 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 and that's what will determine. Understand?
Right, gotcha.
The quote versus their characterization of it.
Okay, so, and then the next one is about the put a cap in the ass, that one. So it's the same thing repeated from above. C, a standard for a FRCP 56 motion for summary judgment. Whoops. Sorry, my mouse is moving. Okay. When the non-moving party has the burden of proof at trial, to prevail at summary judgment, the moving party has the burden of either negating an essential element of the non-moving party's case or showing that there is no evidence to prove a fact necessary to the non-moving party's case. See Clark versus Coates and Clark.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't cite that.
I'm just citing it. Okay.
Yeah, I know. So let me explain that sentence, okay?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So Hales is the non-moving party who has the burden of proof at trial. He's the plaintiff, right? The plaintiff obviously has the burden of proof. So he's the non-moving party on this motion. We're the moving party, Preston and Cook, the defendants. So we, the moving party, have the burden of negating an element of the non-moving Hales party's case, defamation, or showing there's no evidence to prove a fact. And that's basically what we're focusing on, no evidence to prove a fact.
Right.
No evidence they wrote it, no evidence it was hung and removed, all that stuff. So that's, to understand non-moving and moving parties and who they refer to, Hales is non-moving party and we're a moving party.
If the moving party shows an absence of evidence of a material fact, the burden of production shifts to the non-moving party. who must identify evidence in the record or present additional evidence sufficient to withstand a directed verdict motion at trial based on the alleged evidentiary deficiency.
Right.
In a quotes case law.
Now, don't get confused and think that means there'll be a trial. The standard would be the same if there were a trial and then the defendants moved for a directed verdict by saying, well, we heard their case in chief, and even if you believe all their evidence, it doesn't make out their claim, so directed verdict. But what a summary judgment does is it avoids the unnecessary use of resources to have a trial. Why are you going to have a trial when they haven't shown any evidence to justify it?
Right. Okay, so the moving party bears the initial responsibility of informing the court of the basis for its motion and identifying those portions of the proceeding. I just said proceedings. Hello. The pleadings. It's already starting, guys. The pleadings, depositions, answers to interrogatories, and admissions on file, together with the affidavits, if any, which it believes demonstrate the absence of a genuine issue of material fact. Okay. When the non-moving party has the burden of proof at trial, the moving party is not required to support its motion with affidavits or other similar material negating the opponent's claim. In order to discharge this initial responsibility, instead, the moving party simply may show, that is, point out to the district court, that there is an absence of evidence to support the non-moving party's case.
And if you go back to the statement of facts, the first, 3 or 4, whatever it say, there is no evidence that they will be able to produce no evidence that, and that's what that's talking about.
Alternatively, the moving party may support its motion for summary judgment with affirmative evidence demonstrating that the non-moving party will be unable to prove its case at trial. If the moving party shows the absence of a triable issue of fact by either method, the burden on summary judgment shifts to the non-moving party, who must show that a genuine issue remains for trial. If the non-moving party fails to make a sufficient showing on an essential element of her case with respect to which she has the burden of proof, the moving party is entitled to summary judgment.
And all of that is one long quote from that next cited case. So the actual citation that I'm using is that next underlined case, from which that long quote, including those internal citations, came from. An 11th Circuit decision. Go back a little. And you'll see, I can't see, it's United States versus 4 parcels of real property. So that's an 11th Circuit decision. 11th Circuit is the federal court of appeal over the Florida district, all the districts in Florida, southern, middle, and northern. And so it's controlling precedent. So it's controlling authority for our case.
Okay, the federal rules of civil procedure plainly contemplate consideration of summary judgment motions prior to the completion of discovery, which would otherwise be permitted under the rules. CEG Lee versus Warner Brother thing.
Now let me explain why I have this section in here, and you'll keep reading it. Is because when you file an early summary judgment motion like this, you'll typically get a defendant or plaintiff saying, "Wait a second, we need to do discovery before we can respond to the motion."
To illustrate, a defendant may move for a summary 9 judgment before an answer has been filed or any discovery has been conducted. Once a summary judgment motion has been filed, the non-movement may not simply rely on vague assertions that additional discovery will produce needed, but unspecified facts must show the court how the stay will operate to permit him to rebut through discovery of the motion, oh my God, hold on. Whoa, I'm slipping up here. The movement's contentions. In other words, under Rule 56F, the non-movement must set forth with particularity the facts he expects to discover on how those facts will create a genuine issue of material fact. The court has wide discretion to deny discovery under Rule 56F, absent an affirmative showing that additional discovery will enable the non-movement to generate a genuine dispute of fact.
All right. And now the next citation is actually an unreported Southern District of Georgia decision, but the reason I use it is because it quotes all of what you just read is quoted from 11th Circuit precedent also, which is over Georgia federal. And so it's relevant again, even in our case, because it's not that the Georgia decision is controlling, but it's the citations within it that you just read that are controlling from the 11th Circuit about this not having to, allow them to do discovery just because they say they need to.
Right. Rule 56 expressly states that a motion for summary judgment can be filed by a defending party at any time. Courts and commentators have acknowledged that no answer need be filed before a defendant's motion for summary judgment may be entertained. And then there's a bunch of case law here.
Yep. And this is what I just touched on before. So I didn't know without checking, but I had the question in my head, which is, can we go ahead with a motion for summary judgment and not have to first file an answer and have a planning meeting and and deadlines set, et cetera, et cetera. And I found this case law that makes very clear that we can file even before
right here. Right here it says recognize this case law here, recognizing validity of motion for summary judgment filed in lieu of an answer. And then here it pertains to a defending party is not required by the rule to file an answer before moving for summary judgment. Now D, God, my mouth is so dry. D, elements of defamation claim. Defamation under Florida law has these 5 elements. 1, publication. 2, falsity. 3, the statement was made with knowledge or reckless disregard as to the falsity on a matter concerning a public official, or at least negligently on a matter concerning a private person. 4, actual damages.
All right, hold on. Read the footnote.
Well, where's the footnote? Oh,
right after
1. Sorry, there it is. Sorry. All right, footnote is 1. Although the defendants do not base their summary judgment motion on the plaintiff's status as a public person, he is a famous YouTube personality and so would likely be precluded from recovering for defamation, even if there were any way for him to prove the defendant's defamed claim. Okay, so 4, actual damages, and 5, the statement must be defamatory. Okay.
And again, I cite an unpublished decision for that last quote, within which are 11th Circuit, citations. And those 2 decisions that are cited and that are unreported, they're attached as exhibits. You're supposed to attach any unreported decisions to the memo. The ones that are reported, meaning they're citations to F third or F sup, those are official reporters. That means any court personnel can look those up easily. But the unreported ones, they don't want to have to deal with looking for them, so that's why they're required to be attached.
Okay, E. None of the alleged social media statements were defamatory. It was not defamatory for defendant Preston to write on social media that she watched Jeremy Hale's videos until recently, and Jeremy Hale only thinks about the size of his junk. Even if it could be said that these are false statements of fact, i.e. that Miss Preston actually didn't watch Hale's videos until recently, or perhaps that she still watched them but falsely stated she no longer did, these statements cannot possibly be shown to have caused damage to the plaintiff. Unless the plaintiff can explain in an opposition memorandum how these statements somehow constitute defamation or cause him damage, these statements cannot save his defamation claim against Preston. Okay. It was not defamatory on the plaintiff, Hales, for defendant Cook to write on Facebook, Jeremy, would you like me to post a picture of my, we get it, we already heard that. You can't take this one down. Okay, assuming this was a false statement of fact that George, the plaintiff's fiance, appeared to be in a photo performing oral on defendant Cook, if anybody would be defamed, it would be George, not the plaintiff. It's simply not a statement about the plaintiff, nor can the plaintiff show how such statement caused him damage. It was not defamatory for defendant Preston to write on social media, 1, I'm going to stand tall and not let Jeremy Hales hurt me ever again. 2, she'll put a cap in the ass of anyone who messes with her. And 3, I'm done with it. You met your match, Mr. Hales. Statement 1 is not a statement of fact, only vaguely suggesting some past unspecified hurt. Statement 2, sorry. suggesting some unspecified correct. Okay, statement 2, sorry, is not a statement of fact. Statement 3 is not a statement of fact, nor can the plaintiff show any of these statements possibly caused him damage. F. The plaintiff has no evidence the defendants wrote the signs. The only actual defamatory statements alleged by the plaintiff are those allegedly contained in handwritten signs allegedly written by the defendants, calling the plaintiff a child R. It is assumed for this motion that this is a false statement of fact and that it is defamatory per se. However, the plaintiff can produce no evidence that the signs were written by the defendants. The claims fail as a matter of law for that reason alone. The defamation case is highly unusual in that typically there is no dispute as to what was said, who said it, and or where and to what extent it was published. The typical defamation case involves those undisputed facts as the underlying basis for the claim. But in the present action, the plaintiff and his counsel interposed their defamation claims despite not being able to establish either A, that the defendants made the alleged defamatory statements, the signs, or B, whether, how, and to what extent the defamatory statements, the signs, were published. It isn't even necessary for the defendants to submit affidavits denying that they wrote the signs because it is the plaintiff's burden to prove they did and to produce admissible evidence in opposition to summary judgment.
And I would have gotten affidavits, but it was going to take them a couple of days to get it notarized, and I realized it's just not necessary. Just that say, we didn't write the signs. But we don't have the burden to prove we didn't write the signs. They got the burden to show evidence that they did. Yeah, and there's a footnote there. Footnotes here are important. In this particular memo, the footnotes are.
I see it. Great. Okay. In addition to having no evidence.
Footnote. You didn't read the footnote.
Where is it? Did I pass it? I just went right past it. Where is it?
At the bottom of the page.
I'm at 9. That's the bottom of the page.
Oh wait, wasn't there a footnote 2 just now? Go back up. I got it. I'll look. It's funny because I'm like trying to scroll on. It's like you have control. What page are we on?
8. We're on 9. I'm going on to 10.
And what'd you just finish reading?
Oh, okay. Here we go. All right. So let me just do it again. Because it is the plaintiff's burden to prove they did and to produce admissible evidence in opposition to summary judgment. That's number 2.
There you go.
And number 2, the plaintiff has stated publicly on his YouTube channel numerous times that he has a handwriting expert who has already determined that the defendants wrote the signs. If so, such expert's opinion should be produced in opposition to this motion. You calling him out?
Who?
In addition to having no evidence, the defendants wrote the signs. The plaintiff also cannot produce evidence that the signs were ever posted around the roads surrounding Hale's property or how they were displayed. Nor can the plaintiff produce evidence that anyone saw the signs while posted and before being removed. Footnote 3. The plaintiff has made statements publicly on his YouTube channel naming individuals who supposedly discovered the signs, removed them, and brought them to the plaintiff. If those statements were true, he should have no problem swearing under oath or procuring those individuals affidavits under oath, including why they took no photos of the signs and the locations they were discovered. Okay. In fact, the only actual publication of the signs has been by the plaintiff himself on his YouTube channel, What the Hell, and by other YouTube channels covering What the Hell. Because the plaintiff can produce no evidence, the defendants made this defamatory statements by writing the signs, and also because the plaintiff can produce no evidence of publication, his defamation claims fail as a matter of law. Now, G. Okay, the court should deny.
Hang on, pause for a second. So, we're on G, yeah?
Yeah. Let me just go back to. Let me just back to the stream. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, Robbie's here.
Oh, good. He's just in time for the best part.
Robbie, hello. Welcome.
What's the best part?
G.
What's going on?
Section G coming up.
All right,
okay, Section G coming up. I'm totally lost. What's going on?
Okay.
This is the motion for summary judgment that I filed in court today on behalf of Cook and Preston to directed at the defamation counts, the only counts that weren't subjected to that other motion the other day.
Right.
12B6. Now there's a motion for summary judgment, which challenges them to produce any evidence that Cook or Preston wrote signed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing: I
Oh.
always said that when Hales filed this lawsuit, it was an invitation for Cook and Preston to sue him back, and that's what's coming, obviously.
Yeah.
And so. Well, anyway, so this motion is, if these two motions together, the one the other day and this one, are both granted, all of his claims are gone, and the only thing would be left would be their claims, whether in this case as a counterclaim or even a new independent federal action where they'd be what are called the proper plaintiffs, not defendants in counterclaim. And either way, their claims will be their claims. Also, Harley Grace.
Okay, let me get caught up here. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Awesome to see everybody. Now, Bruce, did you talk to the other lawyer?
Which one? Silverman? Nope.
He still not answered you?
No, there's no doubt he's purposely decided, for whatever reason, he will not respond to me, even though I've asked for a 10-minute phone call to just explain so I understand exactly what occurred Wednesday. And now I need a copy of the deposition he took of Hales, obviously, and waiting for any response even on that. So I don't know what his problem is. I really don't. He has a problem with me, obviously, but that's no excuse for a lawyer to prejudice their clients by refusing to communicate with their client's other lawyer in matters affected by the matter in which he represented the client, including providing me that deposition transcript.
So, is he still representing her?
No, as far as I understand, Wednesday, no. He extricated himself because the thumbnails lawsuit should be good enough to take care of everything. Anyway, let's not get started on him anymore. Let's focus on the summary judgment motion, because the summary judgment motion is it's the final sort of nail that, if granted, in the coffin of the federal Hales lawsuit.
Okay, I'm just so lost.
And Lisa and Bruce, when you get done, there are comments and questions in the private chat that I've been pulling from the YouTube people.
Okay, thank you, Tori,
and from the Twitch people.
Hello, Tori.
Okay.
Hello.
Are you ready for G? Dun, dun, dun. Are we ready?
Yeah, and so that's what I mean. It was an invitation to not only bring these to be filed claims, but it was an invitation in this motion to finally, hopefully, get the court's attention on what's going on. And this judge, Magistrate Judge Belitho, I believe is the name, for some reason took 5 months to deny that 12B1 motion and gave all that time. And then quickly granted my pro hac vice motion. And so I don't know if I'm getting vibes or signs, but I think that maybe this judge is hip to what's happening.
Okay. So G, the court should deny discovery under FRCP 26D, especially in light of the plaintiff's abuse of Miss Preston on YouTube.
And this is to preempt them from claiming, wait a second, don't rule on this motion until we get to conduct discovery. I'm preempting that.
As noted above, the plaintiff and his counsel filed this action for defamation despite not even being able to establish the defendants wrote the... Okay, here we go. The signs and or where and to what extent they were published. Before getting to the normal issues litigated in the defamation case, such as whether statements undisputedly made and published by the defendant are actually defamatory and how they cause damages. For this reason, any discovery sought under FRCP 26D would be a fishing expedition. The true motive for the plaintiff filing this frivolous, vexatious action, I love how you put that there, is not because there is any good faith belief or evidence the defendants wrote defamatory signs, but to generate content for the plaintiff's YouTube channel, What the Hells. In fact, as of the date of this motion, the plaintiff is in the middle of a 10-part series of YouTube videos showing his present counsel's January 16th, 2024 7-hour Zoom deposition of Miss Preston from her home, itself highly unusual in a state court TRO action, while Miss Preston was unrepresented. Thank you. Telling you, I'm getting tongue twisted by counsel, begging for a continuance so she could retain counsel the next day as expected, and struggling to monitor and supervise her young child, taken in Miss Preston's since dismissed state court TRO action against Mr. Hale. That deposition has no relevance to any current matter, yet the plaintiff is broadcasting Miss Preston's deposition, taken by his present counsel in 40-minute daily segments on YouTube, as he mocks, humiliates, and threatens Miss Preston to 1, have her child taken away from her, 2, have her arrested, and 3, have her land taken from her through legal proceedings such as the present action. The same footage is then broadcast on at least a half dozen other YouTube channels totaling over 1 million viewers, with the same mocking and humiliating of Miss Preston by those channels' hosts and their viewers. They include That Umbrella Guy, Megan Fox Ryder, DUI Guy Plus, attorney Larry Foreman, a practicing lawyer in Kentucky who places his YouTube content above comportment as a lawyer, such as by propagating a Judge Grudge storyline from What the Hells, attacking Levy County Circuit Court Judge Craig DeThomas with allegations of bias and corruption and derogatory nicknames, and several others, including other lawyers with YouTube channels who are profiting as extensions of What the Hells by playing its content and propagating the same attacks on Miss Preston and Mr. Cook for content and views on their own channels. The plaintiff's YouTube videos attacking Miss Preston and Mr. Cook have gone on for well over 1 year and have destroyed their lives. For example, Miss Preston has been visited 27 times by CPS based on mostly anonymous reports from What the Hell's viewers, all resulting in no finding or abuse. The plaintiff has...
Hold on, I'll be right back. Phone call.
Okay. The plaintiff has claimed on his videos that there is an emergency removal proceeding to save Harley Grace, a content-generating storyline aimed at convincing his audience that Miss Preston's adopted at birth 4-year-old daughter is living in such dangerous conditions that strangers must step up to rescue from her mother so she can be placed with a biological relative of the child's birth father whom she has never met. It has resulted in thousands of fans of What the Hells calling for Miss Preston's child to be taken from her, a horrifying experience created by the plaintiff for content. The court may take judicial notice of these videos, which are publicly available on YouTube at the following link. The videos of Miss Preston's January 16, 2024 state court TRO action deposition began on September 5th. On September 6th, 7th, and 8th, the plaintiff brags that he will force a number of individuals, including from out of state, to come to Levy County, Florida to give depositions in the present case, including journalists and others who criticize the plaintiff on social media for his attacks on Miss Preston and Mr. Cook. Did I miss the port? There's the port. Undersigned counsel has placed the plaintiff's counsel on notice of the duty to ensure all such videos are preserved as evidence for Miss Preston's and Mr. Cook's own claims, whether as counterclaims in this action or in a newly filed action as proper plaintiff, for inter alia cyberstalking, cyberbullying, harassment, defamation, invasion of privacy, and other state law and federal causes of actions, including civil RICO. Conclusion. For the foregoing reasons, the court should grant the defendant's motion for summary judgment on counts 1 and 2 and deny any discovery. There you go.
And that's number 4.
Bam. Bam.
You want to recap number one, Lisa?
Mm-hmm. Number one is hold on. 12. Wait a minute. Where is it? I got it. 12B. It's in the description. Hold, please. I'm being tested. Hold, please. 12B1.
And that was challenging jurisdiction.
3, 4.
Federal
Yes.
jurisdiction.
Yes.
And then next, number 2.
Pro Hac Vice. OBJ.
And that was to
bring you onto the case.
As that admitted into federal Northern District Court, Northern District, Florida. Yep. And filing number 3.
12B6.
And what does that do?
That's about counts 3, 4, 5, and 6.
And it's challenging the sufficiency of the allegations.
Correct.
And then number 4.
Bam. Bam.
And this is what's called.
I call it bam. Bam.
All right, but what's the more legalistic term for it?
This would be the memorandum in support of summary judgment on count 1 and 2.
Exactly, the motion for summary.
The motion, yeah, the memorandum to. I was reading the memorandum.
And it's Rule 56, whereas 12B1, 12B6, this is Rule 56, federal rule.
Yeah.
And that's it, 1, 2, 3, 4, and hopefully that's the end of his federal case.
Boom.
Okay, you guys. Private chat.
All right, private chat. Let's see.
We
got some questions.
Yeah, let's do questions about the legalistic mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, I've been popping things and popping them in private chat.
Listen, Bruce.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a drink before we do that. Go ahead, Robbie. You talk. My mouth is dry.
Go do that. Got a question for you.
Yep.
Now, when this all started, I honestly can say I felt bad for Jeremy because he couldn't even drive in his driveway. But then the more I saw what he was doing, I was like, this is right, because he's not driving in his driveway to drive in his driveway. He's driving in there to torment, to film.
Right.
He's just hanging out up front there, which he never really did before, just to torment and film them. And I thought Florida was a two-party state. Like, I did a gator call Saturday, and when I'm doing a gator call on private property, if the people don't want me to film there, I cannot film. Because it's their property and it's them, you know?
Yeah. Invasion of privacy, Robbie. And those will be some of the big claims.
Yeah. It's like legally, I am not. Fish and Wildlife said, nope. If they, like Saturday, I went to a big horse farm and did a e-gator call. And I always go live for my e-gator calls. But I was told ahead of time, I will not be able to film on the property. And when I pulled onto the property, dude, there's a sign right there, no filming on premises without written consent. And then I had one of their security, a black SUV, pull up right behind me to make sure I wasn't doing anything wrong. And they had high dollar racehorses that were kept there at this farm, like the multi-million-dollar horses, and they didn't want anything filmed. And so I have to abide by their thing. Now, that's what's always baffled me. How does he get around and film their property?
Well, it took because nobody stopped him yet. So that's what this is going to be about.
Is that really how he's gotten away with it?
Well, yeah, he's just acted sort of with impunity. He hasn't.
But I can't believe Judge DeThomas didn't say.
He did, I think. That's the thing. When he was subjected to this writ of prohibition, the case was sort of frozen, and during that whole period of several months before the decision kicking him off the case, Hales just ignored it.
Yeah.
And
I know. I
so
know, Miss
Chad
D.
did her
They
lawyer.
followed us all the way and made sure we were who we said we were. And when we came in, nobody checked our IDs, but they made sure they must have saw me filming inside my car and watched it. And they saw I didn't do it. I didn't film any of their place. I filmed the inside of my car.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
sometimes it's after the fact, and you have to seek damages. That's how the law compensates somebody, for example, for having their privacy intruded upon with surveillance, and then separately, private stuff broadcast publicly, which is a whole separate cause of action. Both are separately, compensable.
yeah.
Okay, I'm back. So the questions that are in, or statements that are in the chat, the private chat here is, Josie Newman, but Lisa, I need to talk to you.
You already got that one.
I put my email on that. Okay. Before they can, new member, he mentioned you last night, said you were next. No, you were so scared, right? I'm not scared by any means. I didn't think he even mentioned us last night. I know. I didn't hear a two-lee something or two-flea something. I don't know.
He could mention me all he wants. I do nothing but come in here to find out what the hell is going on. So.
All right. Evil Jeb, can an ethics complaint based on the behavior of the attorney who took the deposition be filed with the bar?
Yes.
How do you do that?
There's you just look at it. It's easy to do. You can look up Florida Bar, and there'll be links and stuff. They have instructions, email addresses, maybe forms. But it's all there. Anybody who can do that on the internet can do it.
So it could be a total private citizen and just like, in other words, they don't.
Theoretically, anybody could. It's a matter of. It's not a matter always of who is like victimized, let's say, by an attorney's misconduct, but it's a matter of bringing it to the attention of the disciplinary authorities. It doesn't matter really who or how it's been brought to their attention. If it's brought to their attention, they should do something about it, right?
I was just wondering.
He's mentioned me a couple times.
All right, so the next question is...
And there are specific rules of conduct that apply, for sure. I mean, remember, when you file a misconduct, anybody files a misconduct charge against an attorney, there has to be a violation of a rule of conduct, a specific violation of a specific rule of conduct, or more than one rule.
And what would the rule be?
Well, I don't know. I'd have to look through it to get the right numbers and stuff, but believe me.
Is there a searchable... Like, would they have a searchable reason?
Yeah, the Florida rules of professional conduct.
Okay.
And there's divided into sections, like so the section of, I think it's the ones that start with 3, advocate. So lawyer as advocate. That would be the pertinent rules, I believe.
Okay. All right, next question. Storage Bratch new member. Can someone answer why Martha was allowed to be in the room during the depo, but Cook wasn't? I'm not sure Cook wasn't allowed. Or wasn't he at a doctor's appointment or something?
Oh, no, it was a big thing, a big theme throughout the deposition, at least the parts we've seen so far, about whether she's being accused of him being in there and having to show around the room. And, it was just a constant, there were that and several other things that he kept harping on to just increase her stress and elevate her stress and frustration. It's all very calculated. It's transparent. It's obvious for anyone to see.
Yeah, I saw the other one. I didn't see the one today, but I knew it was at a doctor's appointment. That's why she said that she had to pay attention to Harley because she didn't want her on film, and that's why I thought he wasn't there at a doctor's appointment. Okay, so why was Martha allowed in the room and not him? Well,
I don't know, but you can agree. Typically, a party can be in the room. So like. Not necessarily automatically. I mean, there could be reasons why the deponent wouldn't want, for example, the plaintiff in the room because it might make them very nervous, or scared even. But you can agree on anything. On the other hand, this was this was just a matter of harassment. I mean, it's just obvious. This was just a matter of harassment. And the biggest thing is she was begging, like I put in this memorandum, she was literally begging for a continuance because she told them, tomorrow I'm going to have a lawyer and we could do this so I can have a lawyer and it won't be like this, with him, yelling at her for talking over him and not waiting for him to finish and her getting nervous and having to deal with the kid and all that stuff. So it's inexcusable. I mean, it's just inexcusable. And the answer to the question is yes, absolutely.
Okay, so MF Cairo, Silverman still retained as attorney. Really concerning that JH now switched and speaks favorably about Silverman and Bruce is being ignored. That was a statement.
Well, I mean, it's just, again, it's part of his, think about it. Think about it as a streaming series. And now the lawyer for the bad neighbor is now suddenly, switching sides or something because Jeremy's speaking so nicely of him, or at least that's what he wants everyone to think. It's a nice little plot twist, don't you think?
Yeah. He loves to spin shit. Okay, so my mama, I believe I put a cap in the ass comment, was after someone was walking around their property after dark to scare her. And this is from Twitch, Evil Jeff. The motion for summary judgment equals put up or shut up. That's right.
It's exactly right. That's exactly what an motion for summary judgment is.
Kyle, it'll be up tomorrow.
He can go by to get that deposition. Who said that? He can go by to get that deposition? What does that mean, Tori?
Oh, go to the next. Go down. It's I only got when I had to recopy it.
Oh, okay. Maureen Meyer, remember, if Lynette says that there was some kind of agreement, can't you pull Silverman in as a witness since he's not on the case anymore?
Did I miss something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you pull Silverman in as a witness since he's not on the case anymore?
Yeah. Theoretically, if he had some relevant evidence that was needed, sure. But I just want to get this deposition transcript he took from Jeremy Hales, and he's got to give it. It's his client's legal file. I suppose maybe he has some outstanding, unpaid bill, but give me a break. Enough already. Just give me the damn thing.
Dale Cross, is there any legal recourse he can go by to get that deposition?
Yeah. I mean, I hope doesn't become so difficult. The only potential thing I could think of for him to say nope, I'm not giving it to you is because he's going to say because I have an outstanding bill. So a lawyer can hold a client's file if they're owed outstanding bills potentially.
Does he have an outstanding bill, or you're just saying that would be one of the reasons that he got an attorney?
I think he may very well have an outstanding bill, quite frankly, but to me that's just simply not a good excuse in this case.
Okay.
And listen, and if so, then email me and tell me. Say sorry, I can't give it to you because I have an outstanding bill. Okay, sorry, I can't call you for 10 minutes because I can't. That's another $30 of my time. That's not going to get paid for. I mean, it's inexcusable what he's doing. Inexcusable, and I know it's because he doesn't like me, and I don't give a shit if he doesn't like me. Okay, be a professional and give me that damn transcript so I can protect our mutual client's interests.
Right, exactly. Okay, so from Samantha Springman, Bruce, would it be more quick to subpoena? It says deposit, but I think it's a depot directly from the court.
No, the depot isn't in the court. The depot doesn't get filed in court. Oh, we could get a subpoena from the court and serve it on Silverman if he's going to be that, if he's going to be like that ridiculously difficult. I suppose we could do that, maybe.
But if it came down to it, you'd be depoting Jeremy anyway, right?
Yep. And remember, in our case, that we're going to bring, with all those claims, cyber stalking, cyber bullying, defamation, invasion of privacy, maybe civil RICO, all that stuff. There's going to be a huge deposition. There's going to be
Wait a minute, RICO Act?
Yep.
Holy shit. Really?
Oh yeah.
He put it in their lawsuit.
Yeah.
Projection and confession.
Oh my God.
That's nothing. There's stuff that you guys don't even know about that could even go further into that. It's crazy.
Yeah, they just completely miscalculated him. He, his lawyer, completely miscalculated. They rolled the dice that there wasn't going to be anybody out there either, in legally, lawyer wise, or YouTube PR wise, to help these people.
Yeah. He thought he was gonna steamroll all the way through. He probably thought that she was gonna have to go to Ohio. Because he's telling everybody they have to go to Florida. Which is not true.
Yeah. I mean, some people I know live within the state of Florida. They're potentially susceptible to a subpoena to appear for a deposition, I suppose. But out of state, no, nobody's going to have to be forced to go to Florida or Levy County to give a deposition from out of state.
Okay.
Yeah, Shockett's his Fed case lawyer too. He's the only lawyer that's willing to.
And by the way, guys, if y'all have a Pacer account, you can look all this legal mumbo jumbo stuff up.
Well, the docket of the federal docket is in Pacer, and right, you can link to any of the filings, including this motion. But you can just put a PDF of it too underneath if you want.
Okay, Ruth Swisher says Jeremy cannot use defamation in this case, like he has said today in his live. He has not lost money. He has gained in many ways, including GoFundMe's, and needs to show proof of what he took in.
Yeah, again, that's gonna be a big topic in his deposition.
Noni says, how long for this to be ruled on?
I don't know, but it took 5 months for that very short 12B1 motion that might have been ruled on in just a couple of weeks. But I don't think that the fact that took 5 months is an indicator that this much more in-depth motion is going to take 5 times longer by any means. I think I sense that this judge is keeping his eye on this and might be waiting for these motions to
maybe it took him 5 months to go watch all the videos.
Yeah, maybe. But who knows? It's speculation.
Yeah.
But also don't forget there's a Rule 11 motion that's not filed on the docket because it has to be 21 days after being sent to opposing counsel, and it's still possible that he could withdraw the entire lawsuit before then, which would moot these motions. And these motions basically ratchet up the pressure on them to do that, because if they didn't think about how frivolous their lawsuit is and how strong these motions, how weak it is and frivolous it is, these motions should really impress that on them and give them the incentive to withdraw the entire lawsuit before they'll have to face sanctions. Before the lawyer will have to face sanctions. But who knows? He's dug in at every stage, and this lawyer doesn't seem to be running the legal litigation show, steering that ship, but rather taking direction.
Ed Helix says, when's the next court date for Jeremy?
There are no court dates. There's now a deadline for responding to the motion from the other day. I think it's 21 days. You could see that on the docket. It's an entry on the docket establishing a deadline. And there will now be presumably another deadline to respond to this motion. And, so I don't know if the court might do one and then the other, or if they, can be both in basically parallel timeframes as they've been filed only a couple of days apart.
Okay, Pamela M says he doesn't film on Michelle's property. He films from the road, and that's his excuse.
It's still illegal to film her property.
Marla here says part of the plan was so YouTubers visit Otter Creek to do videos, including treasure hunting. Thinks he can own someone's mineral rights, have people dig people's property without permission. That's right. Remember when he had those two guys come and they were digging? And they were also in the water, looking for stuff.
Magnet fishing?
Yeah. Well, there was
No, they were fossils.
Yeah, fossils.
We did it as well.
Yeah.
Anybody ever find anything really good magnet fishing?
We did it once. We found nothing, but the water's been so high here. We haven't done it in a couple years. When every few years the water goes down real low, and then we'll do it again because.
And then what do you find?
They've found guns here on this one on the bridge by me because it's on a main road.
Next
They've found
question.
lots of stuff over there.
Bruce I guess we kind of answered this already. Bruce, is the depot public record or can you request or pay for it?
No.
Yeah. Jeremy quotes the Old Testament and the New Testament. Jesus says, "Those that are not guilty, let them cast the first stone." Oh my gosh! Found $2 bills in a jar. Lures, fishing lures. That's all for the questions so far that Tori posted. Good night, expiration date. 19 weeks.
Well,
Nice.
in that Facebook group, they're saying I have five children from 4 men.
Oh my God! Oh, that's right. Somebody also posted that I was a 30-year prostitute.
And I smoke.
You smoke what?
Lisa, you have met absolutely all of my children. How many children do I have?
1.
Yeah. How much did I smoke at your house?
None.
Yeah, I thought so. Just checking.
Okay. Well, dang it, that was easy, Tori. How do I prove I wasn't a prostitute for 30 years?
How long have you been married to Gabe?
20. Well, no, less than that. I've been with him.
How long have you known Gabe?
20 years.
Was he a John when you met him?
No.
Well, then how could you be a prostitute? And I know Gabe. Gabe is kind of possessive of his lady. He is not going to let his lady be out there hoeing.
Why would I? I'm blessed. He's blessed.
Trust
Kyle,
me,
you're
if she was a slut when I lived in LA, I would have known her.
Because Robbie was the male hoe.
Yeah, you were. He's the prostitute. No, just kidding.
And that's the funny thing is because, it's like I had to get my baby factory shut down because of medical reasons. So I couldn't have had 4 babies if I wanted to.
Bye, Bar. Have a good night. Yeah. No. Well, we met in Los Angeles, but no.
I was the biggest slut in LA.
At least you out hoeing the field? I guess so. If they said so, I guess so, right? Everything they
Robbie,
say.
have you gotten the package from Rebecca yet with the Afghans?
No, not yet.
I think he's been busy chasing gators. He hasn't gone to get his mail yet.
I haven't gone to the post office yet. I'll go by there tomorrow. As long as I don't get a gator call.
There was a big box that arrived.
Yeah,
Ruth,
today.
yeah, that's all
it said
got.
1 of 2, though.
I know. They don't think there's 2.
Okay. How often do you go? How often do you go take them from swimming pools, people's yards?
This year I did, I think, 4 or 5 times.
Wow. Anybody ever jump in the pool without seeing the gator?
No,
no, Lori, we are not.
You got one out of someone's koi pond.
Yeah, 1 out of a koi pond too.
Maybe another 45 to an hour. That's it. That's it. We're done. We're not doing an all-nighter.
It was kind of cool that they were to get off the
pipe. Yeah.
Well, there's going to be. I have a feeling there's going to be plenty of. You could do plenty of reaction to other coverage of this by tomorrow at 10.
Hello,
Tricky, I answered you today.
Otter Creek,
Hi,
Florida.
Tricky. I answered you today.
Tricky, go check.
I nodded off last night to you and woke up to you. Isn't that crazy? I can't believe we're on here.
We
Trust me, we're paying for it.
We started to go to bed. We really did. And then a question was asked, and then research happened, and there you go.
I see, Queen Lady.
Ruby, tomorrow's the second part.
Whoop. I guess I gotta
Snooze. Good night. I'll be back in 5 hours for mornings with Gabe. Yeah, Gabe came on this morning. It was totally
funny, Snibbles. I won't be here.
I won't either.
If Gabe wants to start up one just so he can have mornings
with Gabe,
rock on, but Tori's not doing it.
Yeah,
I don't know how you guys do it.
We were just we were talking about Harley's Christmas thing, and we're looking at motorcycles and the Amazon wish list for Harley, and then I was looking up some decorations. We were talking about that, and then
Mr. Info came in.
Mm-hmm.
And said, "Hey, can I buy a motorcycle for Harley?"
Bruce, as a lawyer, can't you get a copy of that final paper by the judge with their rules of settlement?
Again, if Josh Silverman would have just send it, but I think that paper itself isn't going to say anything other than dismissed without prejudice. And it's really a conversation that will apprise me of what I want to understand from what happened. But no, can't get that. Can't get that from Mr. Lone Wolf.
Kyle's
you don't have a lawyer up there you can employ to go sit in his office, do you?
I don't know. It's just very. It's
that is crazy tricky. Yeah, but Lisa, after this case, you'll get to go on to the L's thing.
Oh yeah, L's, and then more cases. I hope. Yeah. Because I'm liking that stuff.
The Barbara one.
Okay, people, here I'm gonna lay down the law here. If you're not a mod, quit bitching at other people. If you have a problem with someone in the chat, tag one of the mods in to address it, and you don't try to address it for us.
What happened?
Ginny B and Fubar going at each other. I've already put. There was another one earlier that I shut down, but it's like, you guys stop. Tag the mods if you have an issue with what someone says, and the mods can handle it. That's why they're mods.
But it's such a
thank you.
Yeah, she loves to say that I threaten everybody. I haven't threatened anybody. I haven't said if you don't let me on your show, I threaten you unless you let me on your show. That's bull. It's just not true.
You threaten me?
I've asked to be let on their show. I've asked to have me on the shows to talk about the other side. This was before this is when I was still naive enough to think that that was something they could do if they wanted to. But there's no excuse for quote covering this story the way they do. But no, I have not threatened her or anybody else. I had written to that umbrella guy about the thumbnail. He had only really one thumbnail, and it was a professional communication. And I asked him if he would take it down, and he did, or he blocked it out.
Ruby, I do not see any red lines by your name.
I challenge
I got a question. Why does Ruby have a red line? Ketchup's out, mustard's in.
Yeah, it should be yellow. Golden yellow.
All right, Lorraine says, I challenge any of his Christian followers to bring the Bible quotes that he uses to justify his lawsuits to their own church minister and ask if that is correct interpretation.
Oh my God.
No.
Pebs, no, we did not address that with YouTube.
Jenny,
I'm sorry. Vanessa saw Tug and he invited Michelle Preston on without me. I'll have to see that. Is that tonight? He has like 3 streams. He has like 3 streams a day sometimes. So, but that would be, she's not appearing in anybody's stream alone. But that would be, I don't know, surprising.
I don't know. Y'all remember the lady in Ohio that Jeremy was suing? It was a slam dunk. He said he had her. Next thing we know, he drops the case.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I said slug. Tug was the comment. Tug, not slug. Tug.
Oh. Next thing we know, he dropped the case because it was the right thing to do. Has anyone looked into that? Yeah, that was the Marilyn Raby case. He went all the way to have all the depositions and affidavits or whatever was done put into the court record, and then just dropped the case, which basically shows that his lawyer said, this isn't going to work. You're going to lose, dude. And he decided to drop it. $1 million, case that he claimed he had. he decided to drop it.
Yeah.
That's because he was going to have to tell everybody he lost the case, and he decided to act like he was the good guy. That's what he does. The more people like him, the more
all it's going to take is a few people when he tries to do that and tries to drop it. All it's going to take is a few people to continue suing him on a counterclaim for the harassment and everything on it. And when he loses a few of those cases, then he'll know what it's like.
I don't understand. Like, I don't think he'll drop this, even if it proves him to be a liar, big time liar. It's really going to. But anyway, I don't think he'll drop it because he's so far into.
I'm sure he'll have some kind of.
He was so far into Marilyn Raby case.
Yeah, but this is a way different than Marilyn Raby.
I think he's going to have some God-given epiphany.
I don't know. He should, but whatever. If
I don't
not,
know. Instead of suing all these people, maybe you should concentrate on fixing things with your kids. That would be my number one concern.
Well, he was throwing digs at his mom, at Jason's mother.
No way.
Oh yeah, Jason. You weren't here last night. Jason posted something else on his community page.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and he showed a email. I keep saying text message. I think it's because of it would look like it was portrait, but it just looked like a text to me. But it was an email from Jeremy, like throwing 4 different things out there about his mother, and then trying to use his mother in the same sentence by saying, "Your mother and I love you." You know, like
saying they need to do family counseling.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Jason already has a counselor.
He does. He has a therapist that he talks to. But it's funny because I received an email today that shows 4 different times Jeremy claimed to be in counseling and a counselor, and knows and it was also giving out reasons why, as far as being like a psychological counselor, that he could recognize patterns. He was taught that, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this guy is so full of shit. But 4 different times that he was saying that and acting like he was some type of counselor.
Sherry Peterman, you send us the documents that you said you saw. He and that other guy lost against Marilyn. They had to make restitution to her. I saw the court documents. Can you provide those court documents? Because I, for one, would love to read them.
Which document?
This is in the Ohio case.
What document?
That they had to pay restitution to Marilyn.
That he had to pay restitution to Marilyn?
That's the way I just read that comment. That they lost to Marilyn and had to pay restitution to her. Sherry Peterman said at Wolfie, he and that other guy lost against Marilyn. They had to make restitution to her, and I saw the court documents.
Okay. She was suing. Okay.
I don't know, DRD. That's between him and Jason and Zoli. I don't. That's Zoli's business.
Okay. He was countersuing Marilyn Raby. He dropped the countersuit. The countersuit was for $1 million.
Hi, Dottie.
That Megan was talking about Bruce sending message to small YouTubers asking them to come on here and threatening them if they didn't.
I already spoke to that. Not so.
Oh,
it's not true. I never threatened it. I've never threatened them if they didn't bring me on their show ever. That's a lie.
Every time that I look. My voice is so hoarse today.
Yeah, Vanessa, he always does that look over here thing.
I don't see a red line. I'm behind in the chat. That's what's going on here. Okay.
Yep. You're way behind in the chat.
Yeah. I want to know what happened with his parents. Why do his parents hate him?
I don't know.
I can only tell you what Jason said.
Hey, Dottie.
Hi, Dottie. Jason said he figures that the grandparents realized what their son had become and disagreed with it.
I need a Ricola. I know.
Because they're good Christians.
Having a good evening. You're feeling well. Yes. How are you feeling, Ray? Did Jason change sites because I'm not seeing any of his posts? I don't know. We could see.
Did Jason change what?
Change sites because they can't see his posts. Let's see.
I can see Jason's stuff.
You can?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still there. So, Robbie, you didn't see what he said? I can tell you what he said.
He did a new post?
Well, it was yesterday. He said, I was debating whether or not to share this, but I figured I would and give my thoughts on it. I haven't spoken to my father since the email conversation where I was asking for the $10K he owes me. Since then, he sent a single email to me. It reads like a sad excuse for intimidation. Let me read it because he's also explained, so I'll read that first. Let me see. Whoops. Okay. He says, this is the email. What's your plan when they uncover your mom's record of you in Holmes County? Abuse record of you. When they go through the court records and they find out you called me saying Mom left you and your sister locked in a car and you were freezing. When they show up at your house because you've already told them they can find the information by Googling. When they call her work like they've been doing to Skyview and Faith. Show up at her work. Whatever you want to say, your mom and I are always ready to listen to you. Please consider the healthy solution and discuss what's on your heart in family counseling. We love you, Jason, and want to help you heal. That's what he got from his dad.
Wait a minute. You're attacking the kid's mother, and then you say, we love you. We want to help you heal.
Yeah, as if he's talked to her and stuff, and And
isn't that like what's known as talking out of both sides of your mouth?
Yeah.
Something like that.
So with that, I'm jumping back up to what he said. Mom doesn't have an abuse record to his knowledge, and he has no memory of phone calls he claims to have taken place, nor does he believe he would have called him of his own free will, no matter what situation he was in. You can't find anything else by Googling other than my mom's old number that she already changed. He's proved he's not willing to listen to me, and my therapist has told me she does think what I'm doing is healthy, which is by coming out. To me, it's obvious he's clearly trying to lie and scare me like he has in the past when he said that. And if we said anything about what he did, we'd get taken away from both him and also Mom forever. And then he has the audacity to double down on pretending to actually care about me when all he really cares about is his public image. I also have something I want to say to him in front of everyone, because I know for a fact he's been keeping up with what I've been saying here, and he's going to see this. Jeremy, you don't scare me anymore. I used to be afraid of you, but now I realize that all you are is a mild inconvenience that can't really hurt me. Not in any way that matters. It's your turn to be scared now. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure the truth stays up, and if you don't like it, you can come back to Ohio and tell me in person. I'm a man now, too. You have no more power over me. Anyway, that's all. I just wanted to share that. Thank you again to everyone. Right?
Sharon, how he treats his children.
It's atrocious. It's absolutely disgusting. He calls his son saying mental health problems on his YouTube and gets people to go against his son. That is absolutely disgusting.
Whoop, whoop. Kyle Alex gifted 5 memberships. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Welcome.
That is absolutely, that is the epitome of
it shows the character. It shows the character of a man. I know I know this, and I'm going to state it as fact from observation. Zoltan, whatever you want to call him, no matter what he does, never in a day of your life will you see Robbie Kesey get on YouTube in a text written or live or any kind of video and put down on his own son, regardless of what his son does. Instead, he will be back in the background helping his son through whatever it is he's going through. That's what a father does. That's
Dottie,
what a parent does.
Dottie. Hello, Dottie.
Now, I will discipline him, and even though he's 23 now, and he's still, dude, he's still my son, but I will never, ever, if anyone said anything bad about my son on my channel, I'd be like, block, you're gone. It's my son, and dude, whether he does stupid stuff, and I tease him all the time and call him Houdini because I'll turn around and that boy's gone. It's like, where did he go?
What's funny is when Robbie will say, I need a flathead screwdriver. And he'll turn around to say, Z, can you go get me a flathead screwdriver? And Z's gone.
He gone.
He gone. That boy moves fast. He got legs. And when he walks fast.
Yeah, he does. Well, he also has really long legs. So when he walks, he's got like long strides, you know?
He slow walks when I'm there because I can't keep him.
Oh, dude, his slow walk.
I thought Dottie was mad at me. She wasn't saying hi to me. I'm like, hello, Dottie.
Yeah, see, JC, that's just it. And, you know, I know families have their own things that happen. Z might do something that Robbie goes against. My daughter might do something that I wouldn't approve of. But I am not going to slander her.
Exactly.
No.
No. Behind closed doors, I'm going to have a discussion with her about this.
Oh, Z gets yelled at. Z gets yelled at when he does something stupid because I don't want him to get hurt. Anybody I'm training to do gators and stuff, or working with animals, working with big cats, or working with stuff that can kill you, if you do something wrong, you're going to get yelled at, because the fastest way to catch someone's attention is yelling. It's not saying, excuse me, don't do that, you're going to get hurt. Then it's not taken seriously. If I bark, it's attention's brought to it right away, and they know they did something wrong and move, get out of the situation now.
Yeah. Robbie has permission to bark at my grandchildren, and they know that if they do something that could put them in danger, Z or Robbie might bark at them, and they are to respond appropriately. Because someone's going to do that if you're in danger. Like if they're getting ready to step on a snake, they might get yelled at. Stop! That means you better stop.
Right.
Yeah. That means freeze in your tracks.
Especially working with gators, yeah.
Ed said he would call your son Zed because that's how it is pronounced in Canada.
Jason's Jeremy problem should stay private between them. As the parent, not one thing should have been said about the issues publicly. I agree. But what he did,
everybody called my dad Zoli.
What he did, though, was he had his friends mention it. And then he himself started, saying 18-year-old mental problems and started talking Scooby-Doo and being in fear of him and wetting the bed at a certain age. Like, instead of, directly saying anything at all, he chose to, throw out negatives or excuses or reasons why he may have been the asshole dad. Because...
Cherry.
And to me, those are not reasons. You know what I mean?
Dude.
He just tried to put the excuses out there rather than say, look, my son has gone through something. I kept it private because it's whatever. And please don't attack my son. If he feels like he wants to speak out, that's fine. Whatever it is, it's a private matter. And don't attack my son. Which we have not done. But his own fans have gone out and attacked him. Yep. Because they feel he's attacked his dad. So
his fans have accused Jason of being on drugs.
Yeah.
That is just crazy.
We let him, he is And, he's a young man. He wanted to have his say. He wanted his truth out, and we let him come on here, and he could have said anything,
And Jason is very purposeful in his words. He thinks about what he's going to say. I think he says it through his head to make sure that when he says it, it's not misinterpreted.
Yeah. And it's just messed up. Like, they were saying all kinds of stuff. Like even Conky was saying, like, he was talking about, the fight between him and Guampo, and the end result was Jason coming out. No.
That had nothing to do with
Jason came.
Nothing.
It was just really weird timing.
Nothing that's been going on the internet had anything to do with Jason coming out and saying anything.
Yeah. Well,
other than that Jason wants people to know who his dad is.
Yeah. But he, what happened was his mother got a phone call of some sort. Okay. And it was, whether it was a mistake or whatnot, he thought it was one way. And his mother corrected him, which is why he removed his first video. Okay. But either way, he doesn't want, his mother was trying and changed her phone number, and he was upset about that. And he basically was like, I had enough, So there's for him to say, I've had enough and I'm going forward and I'm going to explain what the hell I've been going through, whether it's in length or just, minimal. He had enough. He was tired of watching his father act like somebody he's not. And that's why he came out and said something. And if he continues to, then that's on him. You know what I mean? But, somebody posted a comment about that, Jeremy's talked to his son and everything's fine, and it was a late comment because the video that Jason was on was, a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago, maybe. So, and it came on yesterday and I saw it. And I actually did message Jason. I just asked how he was doing. And I, had said, I heard that you may have worked things out. That's great. And I went into something else that he mentioned, and that was it. But he came back and he said he is not, that's wrong,
Yes, Rachel, I remember that he said that he offered his ex-wife and the kids a place to stay, and he did not.
He did.
He made it sound
not in the way he said it, but there was an offer to stay at his house, but it wasn't the way he said it, and they were like, no.
He even made it sound like they were staying there, and it's like, no.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there was something else here.
So that, I believe that was when that.
Yes, I believe the first video does exist.
Yeah.
There's copies of
it. That was when that Hitman thing came out. The guy where was the guy in Hong Kong or something? And there was people across the table talking about a hit from Michelle. Like, what? Like, come on now.
They were going to send Bruce Lee after him.
Yeah. And that to me was like this email that I got yesterday or the day before. And it sounded all serious. Like, this guy took Jeremy to court in Illinois. And then he has a whole list of things and this hot wife thing. And basically, like, George and him were swingers or swappers. And I was like, what? And then he said he has a whole list of people from Barack Obama down to, I'm like, oh my God, whatever. You got me that far. See ya. I even sent it to Bruce. I was like, what the hell is this?
Bruce, when you filed today, does that go to him or just his lawyer?
Just his lawyer. Well, it gets automatically, the lawyer will get an email and then he can link to the document that got filed. I also separately emailed it to him as an attachment, but just to the lawyer.
Okay.
But there are people monitoring the docket. It'll be, the last motion to dismiss within a few minutes was obtained by, I forget, Ahmad on Vet Nation and, sent to him. And then he starts to analyze it. It was so funny. Oh, my God.
Yeah, watching people analyze that, it's actually really fun.
No, I'm not putting that up.
What?
It touches politics. We ain't going to politics.
No, absolutely not.
We ain't playing politics here.
Nope. Mm-mm.
keep our politicians.
But yeah, so these people must literally sit there on Pacer or whatever and just hit refresh. Like, I bet you that refresh button doesn't even say refresh on it anymore. You can't read it. I mean, it's crazy how quickly they find out that something was posted there. And there's a new filing in there. Because the only people who would really know would be you and the attorney at the moment, right?
So do I, Kyle, but it's an evil necessity.
I mean, do you get emailed when something is filed? Or you get emailed from the attorney, Bruce?
I'm sorry, say again?
When there's a new filing on the federal case, will you get emailed from the court that something's been filed? Or do you just get an email from the attorney that they notified you of? You get both. Okay.
Yeah, there's an automatic because I'm registered for e-filing. So and when you file a case, you indicate that you'll accept e-service. So you automatically get a notice from the court that something's been filed on the docket, and it links right to that document.
Gotcha.
Good night, Dottie. Love you, honey.
So how would everybody know so fast that there was something filed?
Because I think because anybody can register on Pacer and register for notifications probably. And there's also other it could be Trellis.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, Trellis is a web. Trellis is a service that you can follow active cases and get notifications too. So there's probably all different ways. And some people might just be checking it, every day or periodically, especially when
that's why I'm laughing about the refresh button. I'm like, they must be hitting refresh.
But I mean, this is probably it for a while until they start filing any responses. I guess. I mean, I don't know.
It's okay.
Yeah, I didn't think that they could get a notification unless they were part of the case. Like I know you can see it unless you hit refresh. I didn't know that anybody can get a notification. I thought you had to be part of the case. But that's just assumption on my part. I didn't even look it up. There's broken and there's evil. Germ has nurtured his person to the point. It's really who he is. Yeah, it's really sad, guys. But I saw one of the JH videos this morning, and the stuff he was saying, I'm like, wow, what a difference. It's literally like you can see why people started to watch his videos, And then now what he's turned into is just terrible. But even then, he was mocking the guy for being in jail for not paying child support. And I'm like, really? And
really?
Yeah. And then he was saying how, because he asked the guy how much money he had to pay him for the unit to get his unit back. And he said $1,000. He goes, well, I do this to feed my family. That's what came out of Jeremy's mouth. So, like, what are you going to offer me? I'm like, you use this to feed your family? Really? Okay. And then, so he tried to say this unit was like maybe about $10,000. Whatever was in this unit was going to keep him happy. And he was going to be able to, take care of everything for a year. Like, that unit did not have that much shit in it, because if it did, you wouldn't have given it back to him for $1,000. There ain't no way. But that's what he said.
Midnight.
After midnight. Did Jeremy get in trouble for not paying child support? Well, they had to go after his business in order to pay arrears of child support, which means he wasn't paying child support.
You can Google that.
Yeah, it's public record. Maybe I need to put it together as part of a video so people see the things that he said versus the document. Just to keep showing how much he's a liar. It's part of his character,
Jason already said everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, anyway, who's that? Do that thing. Let's see. No, I didn't. I can't even read that. I missed that.
What?
Flutter wrote a song.
Uh-oh. A flut song.
A flat song. She's really good at doing that. Does your 2-inch pipe hang low? No, I don't think so. Can you tie it? Can you tie it in a knot? Can you tie it in a bow? Can you throw it over your shoulder? Maybe if you were older, does your 2-inch pipe hang low? Oh, she's so funny. She's always good for writing us. We should show her like. Uh-oh. Echo.
Echo.
Hello? Do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, cool.
Hi, Loki.
When I first started watching the Jeremy clearly stated George was a nurse. She clearly was not. From that point on, I knew it was all for content, and he was bullshit, but people believe him. Yeah, she was not a nurse.
No, my friend who was a nurse who passed away proved that.
Any update on the RV that was stolen by Lloyd? Bruce would know about that, if anything.
What was the question?
Any update on the RV that was stolen by Lloyd?
Well, that RV's gone. It's just a matter of bringing the legal claims for damages.
Oh, so they can't get the RV back?
No.
I don't think so. It's been given to somebody.
Lisa, you got an email from Mimi.
Okay. That bitch. Private eyes, they're watching you. They see your everything. My sister's an RN and my niece is an RN. He has a 6-inch pipe. Ugh. Whatever it is, it can't be that good because so-and-so's got a mug on her face all the time. Sorry. Very impressive, Bruce. Can I marry your beautiful brain? Oh. $5 super chat. Thank you. Yeah, so even though the RV is stolen property, he gets to keep it. You can't get it back.
Well, it was in his name, Lloyd's name, right?
Yeah, but he basically had a contract.
It doesn't. That's not considered stolen property. He'll have to pay back. They can go for after what the money amount, right, Bruce?
Say again. I'm sorry, Rob, because I'm trying to read a whole bunch of things. So every time I hear my name, I realize I missed a question. Go ahead.
Okay. The RV's really not considered stolen property because it was in Lloyd's name, and yes, there was a verbal contract and something written on him giving the RV to them, but it was never signed over, so they can go after him for monetary value of how many months they stayed there.
Exactly, but except we're not going to go after Lloyd because it's just a waste of time. Instead, I think going to go after the 5 people who took the property and invaded the property and took the RV for conversion.
Right.
Bruce, if you say alleged, does it not matter in a court case?
What do you mean? If you say alleged, does it not matter? I mean, everything's alleged. If you don't say it, it doesn't matter. I mean, something is what it is, whether it's established fact or an allegation that needs to be proven. So like them saying they wrote the signs, that's an allegation, and so they allege they wrote the signs. Now let's see some evidence.
I can't wait to see how they prove that.
They're not going to.
They can't prove it.
Bruce, someone named Scott M. Taylor posted in
he's
Facebook group that he's sending
He's
something
brutal.
into the American bar.
Yeah, whip-de-doo. He's the one who thinks that there's a problem because of Landon's GoFundMe when back in, I don't know, July, I guess. There was who
Good
would do the
night, Ray.
GoFundMe?
Sleep
You know, who would
well.
do?
Good night, Ray.
Oh, hey, good night, Ray. Hey, Ray, I want to come on your show sometime. So there was like a big thing about who was going to do a GoFundMe, and I didn't think it was. I don't, if I recall, I didn't think it was the best idea for maybe Landon to post a GoFundMe. But whatever it was, I was asked if I could to lend credibility to it, not just like some 18-year-old or some person saying they want to raise money for something, but a lawyer saying I'm involved. I represent Michelle Preston, and this is a true legitimate basis for raising funds. But what this I'm sure it's not his real name. Taylor is trying to say is that I started a GoFundMe, and where's the money, I guess, is the point. I have no idea. Anyway, he can't use the English language properly. He's a terrible speller, and
If you read that GoFundMe, it clearly states it's Landon that created it, and you were.
Oh yeah, but he's going by what Landon said on the call with Jeremy. So in other words, he's saying that Landon should be believed, but not me.
How? Okay, first off, why would Landon be believed at this point by anybody? Truth, let's just be honest, okay? First off, Jeremy was the one who introduced everybody to Landon, okay? And he mocked him, called him a thief, called him tons of other things, and all of a sudden, he starts to believe Landon when Landon calls him, kind of trying to get money out of him, okay? And everything, even though he knew it was a con, he was trying to get money out of him. He's going to believe the stuff that he said negatively against Michelle. Like, those are the only things he believed, but everything else is a lie. Everything else is this. He's this crook. He's this. He's that. You know what I mean? Like,
it's all very convenient. It's all very
how
convenient.
convenient. So, as far as Landon goes, please. But then again,
but this whoever this Scott Taylor, fake name, I'm sure it's like a joke. I mean, he's like spending hours because you should see how long his posts are, and he has like numbered sections and everything. I glanced through him, and it seems like he's focusing really a lot on the GoFundMe thing.
Yeah, Landon said shit because he was trying to con, money out of him. And he preyed on that. Her family's turning against her. Well, look, with the call with Lindsay, which we have yet to put up, it wasn't a praising call about her mother, but it was telling that dude is a liar. He did not put up the whole conversation. She didn't know she was being recorded either way. And what her, the lawyer tried to do to her to get her to lie about her mother. She has a not so great relationship with her mother, but she's not going to, facts are facts, and she believes in facts. And she states so. So that's part of the call there. And then Landon, basically, it's like the same thing. When you listen to the calls with Landon and Jeremy, you hear him like feeding words, coaching him. And then the same thing. What was it, like the next day Lloyd came out, or 2 days later, the call with Lloyd came. And it's the same thing. So you're in fear for your life, you mean? So you'll go, if I help you, you'll go to CPS and report this. And he turned around and said, if someone comes with me so I don't mess up, and you're only seeing, parts of that conversation too. So, it's all coached. It's all bullshit, if you ask me. Tell Jeremy to provide the entire call. Yeah, tell Jeremy to provide the entire call, because I can with mine. You know what I mean? And
Lauren Meyer, I don't know what he's saying when he's saying that if you're saying allegedly that's defamation and you have to prove it. No, allegedly means that someone said it, but we haven't proven it to be true. That's what it means.
Like, I can get defamation on Jeremy because Jeremy was live literally saying shit about me. It's clear as day. So what? But Jeremy claiming that they did that, where's the evidence? How is it defamation? if she responded to something he said, how is she defaming him? What the hell did he say? Just like with Guapo. Guapo challenged him. Actually, no, you're the one who said if I see you in person, you're going to reap what you sow. That's a threat. But he removed that from the text that he showed everybody. What did he say to make her respond in that way? But was it defamatory? No.
Oh,
He didn't lose anything. There was no damages to him by anything she said at all. In fact, he made money. That's what it's all about for him. He doesn't care.
The definition of allegedly is used to convey something that is claimed to be case or have taken place, although there is no proof.
Right. Yep.
So,
yep.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, guys.
I don't know. This is all cray cray.
That's my bedtime.
It is. But we got Bruce to end the cray cray.
Yeah.
And then the new cray cray begin.
Right.
Only it's the fun cray cray.
You're gonna end this, then there's gonna be more. So it's like, oh, God. But you know what? And I'm sure everybody's gonna disagree, but they forget you got a royal flush. So on that note, guys, we are not making this a marathon tonight. We're going to be calling it a night here. We will be back tomorrow evening. And about 10 p.m. on my channel. Tori, you go. Oh, you're not going live tomorrow, right?
I don't know. I'm waiting to see something.
Okay.
I don't think so, though.
Okay.
I'm supposed to have a meeting.
A meeting
I
for what?
I hope Super Dave does something with this motion too. If so, maybe I'll be on this stream.
Well, there you go. I don't know. I didn't see anything of him, but it doesn't mean that he didn't post anything. So, anyhow, guys, thank you all for being here. Hope you understand, or hope we made it understandable, or whatever, comprehensible. See, I can't even speak anymore. I am so tired. No more marathons not that long. Anyhow, thank you again. Have a great night. Prayers to everybody who needs them. Thank you to our mods. If you have
Good
any
night.
questions,
God bless everybody.
email me, twolevespod@gmail.com. And we will see you tomorrow night.
And check out the macaroni and cheese cover up on Facebook.
Yep, there you go. Macaroni and cheese cover up.
You got, and also check out part 2 of one of the craziest gator catches I've ever done.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night.
It's tomorrow night?
Yeah, tomorrow night's the conclusion of it.
Part 2. Have a great night, guys. Get swamped.
Good night, everybody. Whoop, whoop.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.